We are gonna make some salmon croquettes or salmon cakes. So Chef Shauna here. I know I promised this video a while ago, but I finally have some time, so we're gonna get going. It's gonna be a really quick video, very simple to follow. I'm just gonna show you what I'm using today. This is 1 can of salmon, and I have removed the bones from it, the middle bones, back bones, and those have been removed. I've left the skin intact. That's fine because I want all of those fatty acids and amino 3. So that's fine. I want the skin, but I removed the bones. This is some fry batter mix. I'm going to show you that in a little bit. I have some seasoned panko here. This is about 2 tablespoons of diced yellow peppers. This is half of a white onion, minced really small dice. Also another about tablespoon and a half of green peppers, and then I have about a teaspoon or half a teaspoon, between half a teaspoon and 1 of ginger. So I am using actually dried ginger because I really want a strong flavor of ginger. And fresh ginger, believe it or not, if you're going to cook it, it kind of, the flavor cooks away a lot of it. So if you want something to have a really nice punch of ginger, try using a dried variety. So I get these in larger and then I grind them to the consistency that I want. So that's that there. And then some salt and pepper to taste. But since we're using seasoned panko and a seasoned fry batter to fry it up, we're not going to be using much of this salt. And then I have about 3 cups of oil, and that's going to be to fry. I'm using vegetable oil. You can use canola oil, whatever oil you'd like to fry in, that's fine. Olive oil, if you're doing extra virgin, that's going to impart a nuttier taste to your croquettes. So if you're good with that, then we're good to go. But this is what we're using, and I'll show you what we're doing next. All right, so we have the salmon here, and we're gonna start by just breaking that up. Want to just mince that up a little bit, and then we're gonna start combining our flavors. So onion goes in, peppers, all of these green peppers, yellow peppers. So I use every opportunity to get as many vegetables in a meal as possible. Breadcrumbs, that goes in. And then, so I'm using a 1/4 teaspoon increments. So 1, I can give you a better measurement. 2. So pretty much it's half of a teaspoon. And then I am going to do a 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt and pepper. And again, that's because I'm using the seasoned breadcrumbs, so I don't want to over salt what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to give this a stir and let it all come together. And then eventually we're going to have to use our hands, so we're going to get this all stirred in. Now you can add fresh herbs to this. You can add thyme, you can add parsley or cilantro. That's perfectly fine. You know, I always talk about layering flavor, so you want to necessarily go ahead and just add this. Feel free to add a few other things and Okay, so we have this all incorporated. Now I have my oil heating here, and we're going to go ahead and finish this up so that by when the oil is heated, we're ready to go. So this is what I'm using. I'm using Tasting Queen's Market Caribbean Fry Batter mix. So this is all seasoned. There's goodness like thyme in here already. There's ginger, onion, garlic, so it really has a really good flavor, and that's why I'm not using any additional herbs in here. But if you're gonna use, you can use plain flour. I would add, you know, just maybe a quarter of a teaspoon or to half a teaspoon of salt and pepper, because like Emerald says, I don't know where you get your flour from, but mine does not come seasoned, so you want to make sure you season that. So yeah, but I'm using the Caribbean seasoning mix. So this is coming along. I can feel it getting hot. And so the last ingredient you're going to add is 1 egg. So we need an egg in here. But I've got my station set up. Oil, my salmon mix. I've got my plate and receptacle ready to take those out, and then the seasoning, and then we're going to put them over here. So you're just going to add this to it. Bloop. Plop that egg in there. And then give that a good, nice stir to get that all incorporated. So I'm going to go ahead and stir this in all the way. And then what I'm using to make sure I get them even, I always like to use a scoop. So I use, this is a 2-ounce scoop, but I use everywhere from the 1 ounce, 2 ounce, if I'm making large cookies, a 4-ounce scoop, but it keeps it consistent. So I'm going to be using this to scoop. We're going to form a ball, and then we're going to put it on the plate. So this is what we're doing, and I will start, and then I'll show you how I've done the rest. All right, so for this, I'm going to give it one last stir to make sure it's all incorporated. And then we're going to be using our hands. We've got to get in there. Some of you have watched, you know, some of my cooking demos before, know that I don't like my hands in sticky stuff. But there's some things that are just unavoidable. So I'm going to give this a nice scoop and square it off here. Now I want to press this, but I don't want to make it too firm and packed. So you can do 2 shapes. I'm going to show you the first one. So we can make a little discs like that, like you're going to make our meatball. And then you're just going to pat it down a little bit. And then you fold in the sides and you pat it down that way. And you can do that. Plop that down this side. Flip that over. Mine came apart. I'm going to try to get it back. But not to matter, when it goes into the hot oil, it's going to stay put. So that's what we got. We're going to put that there. And you can do also the little logs. So I'm going to start, again, I always start from a little ball and then I start molding. So like the traditional Portuguese style croquettes. And then again, you don't want a lot of batter on this. Just gonna roll that like that. And that's what you got, and put that down there. So whichever style you'd like to do, you're just gonna finish these up. So I'm gonna go ahead again, start with a little ball, and then you start forming after you start with that little ball. So here we go. Get some of these extra pieces out of this. Roll, 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 and make sure it's all coated. And then you continue until you're finished. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these up. My oil seems to be starting to sizzle, so I'm going to rush really quickly to get these set up, and then we're going to come back and fry them up. All right, so we've got our croquettes here ready to fry. The oil is ready to go. Hands are clean. I've cleaned up. So we're just going to go ahead and plop them in. You take one and Just drop it in the oil. Don't be afraid of the oil, guys. Just keep your hands at a safe distance, but get in there. You want to give them enough space that they have space to move, and you want to keep your oil at a good temp. So I'm going to start here with, what's 2, 4, 6, I have 7. So I have 3 more to go, but I'm just going to let these do their thing. So the oil is nice and hot. So the oil is about 320 to 330 degrees. So I don't want it quite at like 350 or 360 because I don't want it to brown too quickly. So I want it decently hot, a good nice sizzle. I'm going to get a nice crust and brown color, but I don't want it too hot that it starts to darken too quickly. So 320 to 330 is where I have the oil. Alright, so it's been about 1.5 minutes, and I've given some of them a nice little turn. So you're going to see that nice brown color, what I was looking for. And then you're going to see our nice, beautiful peppers peeping through there. So wanted to create some interesting colors, textures, and like I said, I use